I think it's safe to say that when we talk to a woman, it's not the same thing as when we're talking to one of our pals, right? I mean, we say something to one of our guy friends like, "Hey, did you hear that Chad broke up with Kim?" Our guy friend very carefully thinks about his answer, and using the most carefully prepared wording that he can muster up, he says, "Wow, dude, that sucks. So, did you want to go get some lunch?" This does not mean that our friend is unfeeling, it's just what we guys do. We don't linger on the subject, we address it, and we move on. This is the natural tendency of men, as they're hardwired to address the problem or situation, hopefully create a fast solution, and move on to the next challenge quickly. It's our default function as guys. Women, however, this is not so much the case. If you say that same statement to a woman about Chad breaking up with Kim, you just opened the floodgates, my friend. She is going to bombard you with questions about, well, what happened? Did she break up with him, or did he break up with her? Did he cheat on her? Did she cheat on him? Was it a money issue? Were they not spending enough time together? Huh? What? No. Why do you need Advil? As a guy, your head is spinning, and your only answer that you can come up with to save yourself is, "I don't know why they just broke up." But why does she need all these details anyway? Can't she just settle for the little bit of information you gave her? Well, no. In this video, we're going to discuss why women need the details and why they need so many of them, and how by giving her the details, not all of them, you can build some stronger rapport with her and attraction due to your conversational skills. The first thing to understand is that women are not hardwired to think the same way as men because they have a different emotional IQ. You think? Yeah. Where men are naturally geared to quickly address and solve a problem, women are more geared to assess it, and they want a complete understanding of it. Now, this kind of thinking has served us since the dawn of man. Think about it. The man would go out hunting things like mammoths and the like, and he had to be quick on his feet. When taking down the prey, he had to think fast, and he had to act fast because it was a dangerous undertaking. And thinking too long about an approach or an action, that could result in him dying. Even if he was at the camp, he had to be at the ready to defend against attacks from tribes and possibly even animals. There's an old saying, I don't really know where it comes from, it's an old proverb, I think it's Chinese, and it says, "What killed the warrior? Hesitation." While the men were out hunting or possibly fighting, the women were back at the camp, taking care of the home. During this time, the women were also socializing with the other women of the camp, and the socialization not only helped keep the peace in the camp, but it was also very effective in the sharing of the knowledge and addressing problems while the men were away. Because think about it, during this time, the women at the camp were kind of on their own, so they needed to rely on each other. This is pretty much where you get the phrase tribal knowledge. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, but David, that was back in the caveman times. That doesn't apply to today's modern society. Au contraire, my friend, it has never changed. So I'm sure you know about Guys' Night Out. Probably. And I'm sure you've heard of Ladies' Night Out. Okay, if you're not quite satisfied with those two examples, as recently as a few, well, actually, it was about a few tens of years ago, really, there were PTA meetings. And these PTA meetings were designed around making sure that the schooling was working out for the kid, making sure that the community was being run to the best of its ability. By the way, these PTA meetings were set up by the women of the community, specifically the mothers. So if you're thinking that we've really made this great transition away from the, shall we just say, caveman setup of society, I'm afraid that not too much has changed in that department. So why is this history lesson important in the first place? Well, as I said, it kept the tribe functioning. It was, and still in many ways is, a means of human survival to have both sides of this emotional IQ, the man's and the woman's, as part of the species. So she wants the details. Okay, why? Because to her, the survival is in the details. The story is in the details. The important facts that she is seeking are in the details. And when you think about it, she is right to some extent. If Chad cheated on Kim, okay, then she's mad at Chad. But if Kim cheated on Chad, then she's mad at Kim. It changes the outcome of the situation. Okay, David, that's all fine and good, but I don't understand how this is going to help me to create attraction with her. Glad you asked. Okay. Well, communication, I think we can all agree, is a key element in building rapport with her. Right? Okay. And that involves you listening to what she has to say, as well as taking an active part in the conversation. So prepare for when she is going to ask those questions, because she is, and have at least a few answers ready for her. Now, you don't need to treat this like it's an exam or a test in school where you need to have all the answers, because that's not going to be possible. But you have to at least have a few of them. What does this do? Well, it does several things. First of all, it positions you as a man who cares about what is going on in the world around him. And women love men who are informed. They're great conversation partners. It also keeps the conversation going, so you have more time to build rapport with her, and yes, possibly attraction. I would like to make a point here, though. If the conversation is about you, that's the one exception to the rule. In that case, do not tell her everything. You do intentionally want to hold most of the details back to create some form of mystery. You want to create that kind of romance novel, oh, she has to turn the page to find out what happens next in the mystery. Because if you tell her everything up front in that case about you, now there's no mystery, and now it's what we call boring. Give her enough to keep her interested, and so she's not thinking that you're too guarded and maybe a little creepy. But don't tell her your whole life story. Just keep in mind that she is going to be different than you, and that she is going to want the details. So accommodate her. She's not trying to be annoying. Really, she's not. She's just trying to reach her own conclusion. And what do you care? You get to talk to her longer anyway. So this works out for both of you. And if you two do end up together in a relationship, it actually makes you a far stronger team. Now, if you found this information useful and you would like to know more, I do go further into detail on my courses that are going to be up on my website. I also go further into detail in my one-on-one coaching calls, which can also be found on my website. And I'm going to go ahead and put the link to all that stuff in all of the descriptions below in all of my videos across the entire channel when I get it ready to go. And that's my tip for this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, and as always, get out there and ace it.